I have a quarter in my hands, Roob. You know what that means?
Where'd you get the quarter?
I borrowed it from our buddy Jordan Hall in the newsroom. No one had any change on them. I have change in my car, but I don't keep it on my person.
I never have change anymore.
Yeah. It's a new world.
You know, a lot of places are charging more for, for credit cards now.
Mm-hmm.
So I always tell myself, I'm just going to stop at Mac and get $100 out and whatever and I never do it. I never do. I never think of it. So I end up paying,
Yeah, cash is making the comeback.
I guess I just don't like having it.
I like it.
I always lose my debit card anyway, or my Mac card. I still call it Mac card.
You do. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. I have the quarter. This is the Eagle Eye Podcast presented by Nissan. Ruben Frank, Dave Zangaro. Let's get the formalities out of the way. We got a good game to play today. We're going to draft two separate Eagles teams from the Eagles roster. We do this every year. Not exactly an original idea, but it's a fun way to talk about the roster, see some of the strengths, some of the weaknesses in terms of position, where the Eagles might have some extra players, where they might be good in terms of injury this season, where they might have some problem spots if they were to suffer an injury. We're going to do it.
And you also learn a little bit of, what we feel about different guys on the roster.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think they're certainly guys, and that plays into some strategy here too, because I know who you're high on, who you're low on, and you know that about me as well, unless everything I've said up to this point is just a ruse.
Which could be.
Could be.
Wouldn't surprise me if
All
you
right.
did that.
We're going to split this up. We're going to talk offense in the first half, defense in the second half. So really we're drafting the offense and then drafting the defense. You can have any configuration you want of these 11 players, but you got to make sure it works on the football field. Roob, I have this quarter. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to do a good job flipping it. I've seen too many coin flippers not do a good job, and it doesn't really flip over. I don't like that. So I'm going to flip it, catch it, turn it on my hand. You call it in the air. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Give me it.
Heads.
Heads it is. All right, Roob. You get the first pick.
How much do I have? The full 15-minute allotment? I'm going to go Lakin Vakalahi.
That is binding. You have Lakin Vakalahi.
I'm going to go Saquon.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. I was wondering how you would handle that.
I just figure I'd rather have Saquon and Tanner than Jalen and whoever the RB2 is.
Yeah, it puts me in a really difficult position because I can, I have to at this point. We're just going back and forth in this draft. So yeah, I think Saquon is a good pick there. Tough to argue against the offensive player of the year. If I was in your position, I was thinking about going Saquon, but I'm not going to do it. Obviously, but I'm saying I wouldn't have done it. I'm going Jalen Hurts. I'm going to take the quarterback, Super Bowl MVP quarterback, played at a really high level this spring. I think he's due for a really big season in 2025.
So you would have taken Jalen?
I would have, yeah. Because, look, I think we both really like Tanner McKee. We haven't really seen him play yet.
Well, you could say the same about the running back.
Yeah, but it's the quarterback is obviously the most important position in sports.
But on this team, Saquon might be the most important position in sports.
Saquon's not. I know. You can still argue that. We're just going back and forth.
We're doing a snake or
no? Back and forth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to do a snake, I'll take my pick.
No. I think I'm going to take Lane Johnson next.
Okay. That is a good pick. I should probably write down who you're picking so I don't take them or try to take them. Yeah, Lane's a great pick. He's playing at an all-pro level, and I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon.
I don't either. He says he's just reaching his peak. I like my team so far. I think we're going to be able to run the ball.
All right. So now I have a decision.
I know what your decision is. I already wrote your pick down.
Did you?
Let's see if who it is.
I'm taking AJ Brown.
That's what I wrote down.
Yeah. He's the next biggest difference maker on this team. And like Devontae Smith is a good player, and we both agree that he has untapped potential, but AJ Brown might be the best receiver in football. He's that good. So you're running the ball. I'm throwing it, baby. I got Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown.
Yeah, so I pretty much have to take Devontae here to avoid having, John Ross and Paris Campbell as my receivers. So I'll go Devontae, because if I don't, you'll snap him up.
What do you expect from Devontae this year?
I think about the same.
I know we're getting into the game, but this is supposed to be a device to talk about these players.
Right. You'd love to see him have that. And he missed 4 games last year. If he played a full season, I just think AJ is going to get so many targets that it's going to be hard for Devontae to have more than like between 1,000 and 1,100 yards. And that's a lot. It's good. I don't know where those, especially with Goddard coming back. I don't know how you get from like 9 to 10 up to 13 when AJ's still having 14 or 15 every year. So I need to keep doing what he's been doing. I just don't know if a big leap is possible.
The whole time you were talking there, I'm thinking maybe I'll draft Tanner McKee and put him at tight end just so you can't have a quarterback.
Common Cord's out there.
Yeah, I won't do that, obviously. It's time for my pick. I'm going Jordan Mailata, left tackle. Hasn't been a Pro Bowler yet. Going to be a Pro Bowler this year.
It's a good. He should have been last year.
He should have been. He only played 12 games, and I guess that hurt him, but there were 12 really good games in the regular season, and then as good in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's kind of. I think I did a thing once on the 10 best Eagles to never make a Pro Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
He would be in. I mean, Andy Harmon was like number 1. Gosh, I should revisit that. Let's see who's on there. Like Byron Evans. I think Wes Hopkins Andre Waters never made one. But yeah, something to look at. Doing that again. But I have a tough decision here, because do I want to bolster my O-line, or do I want to? Like, I don't have to worry about the quarterback because you're not taking Tanner.
I don't know.
I'm going to go Goddard. I'm going to go Dallas Goddard as my 4th pick.
It's a good pick. That's where I was going, by the way.
Yeah, well, you don't have that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you with the best out of Kyle Granson, Grant Calcaterra, Nick Muse.
Hey, man, Nick Muse in spring.
Harrison Bryant.
We're seeing it.
So I have Saquon, Devontae, Goddard, and Lane. You have Jalen, AJ, and Jordan Mailata.
Yeah, with
your 4th pick.
With my 4th pick coming up. Yeah, Dallas Goddard. That's a solid pick. Now you're going to miss him for those games he doesn't play.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, you're playing a football season here, right?
Well, I'll just. I think what was their record without him last year? They were like 6-1.
I think they were 7-0.
Were they 7-0?
Yeah. But he is obviously a really good player, and
he is. And that's like,
and you're right. Like when we're playing this game, it's like, where's the drop off, right? And it's a pretty steep one from Goddard to Calcaterra.
Yeah, and that's what you're looking for when you're building your team. And I mean, boy, it looked for all the world for a while like that's what was going to happen. I was like, what are they going to do here? They have some bodies. They got a couple of veterans, but.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was like, you're going into the draft thing. Well, they better draft one, and that's not a position you want to be in.
Yeah.
And I know they signed Harrison Bryant and Kylan Granson, but that wasn't going to be good enough.
No. Maybe they were confident they would get this done all along.
I don't think so.
I don't know why it would be.
At least maybe it was all posturing, being out in public talking about it, but it didn't feel like it.
No, it didn't.
Yeah. All right, my pick.
Yeah.
I'm going with Cam Jurgens.
I already wrote it down.
So, yeah, I mean, that's the right pick there. It's the pretty obvious one. I get the pair Jalen Hurts and Cam Jurgens. So, well, whoever's snapping the ball to Tanner McKee, maybe they work together, but that's a second team offense in my book. I get Cam Jurgens and Jalen Hurts together, the Pro Bowl pair. Jurgens coming off a great season in his first year as the Eagles center. I think he's been better in year 2.
Yeah, I would think so. I was really impressed with him. What a tough dude. And what he did in the NFC Championship game, I mean, that was really cool to see. I mean, we were out there during warmups, and it's like, yeah, it's not happening. And we see Landon start taking some snaps. He gets hurt. Cam comes back in. It was brilliant to keep him up, just in case.
And I didn't think they were going to. I got word that he wasn't going to play. I thought he was going to be inactive.
Yeah.
And you see him, he's not inactive, but he's not going to play, right? He wasn't supposed to.
I mean, remember how just bad he looked warming up? I mean, he looked
very stiff.
Yeah, stiff. He just looked uncomfortable and awkward. And there's we were right behind it, because that's where we do our pregame hits. Like, there's no way he's going to play. And that was a concern. I mean, gosh, but
that couldn't have felt good for Nick Gates, right? You're the backup center, and they already start Landon over you.
Yeah.
And then Landon gets hurt, and they're like, we'll take 60% Cam Jurgens.
Yeah, but it was the right move.
I think so. And it was really tough. And then that extra week before the Super Bowl really helped him.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was still hurting, but yeah, he played great in that game.
Okay. So I think that was the obvious pick. So we're both through 4 picks. You have Saquon, Lane Johnson, Devontae Smith. I have Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Jordan Mailata, Cam Jurgens.
You took Goddard away from me there when you ran down my roster, which I don't appreciate. You didn't mention him, but I do have Dallas Goedert.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going to go Landon Dickerson.
Okay.
I'm not sure where I'm going to play him yet. He might be my center. But
might need to be.
I like Lane and Landon, my first 2 O linemen. You have Cam and Jordan Mailata. So it's going to get interesting after that.
Yeah, after this is where we start to get into some trouble areas.
Might try to take Mekhi Becton. But yeah, I like my group as far as running the ball.
Yeah, you got a good run team right now. Okay, I think I know where I'm going with the next one, because
it's getting hard here now.
Yeah, this is where you get into some trouble territory, and I'm looking at the offensive linemen, and I think that I see a lot of equal.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not going to go to the offensive line.
I know exactly where you're going.
I'm going Jahan Dotson.
I knew it. I already wrote that too.
Yeah, because I think this is good to see. Like, when we talk about the receivers, there's a drop off after the top 2, but then another drop off, I think, after Dotson. And we don't even know who the 4th receiver is.
We're going to find out soon.
I guess we will. Whereas the offensive linemen, I think they actually probably have more depth there, but to me, it's a lot more similar than it is at receiver.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true, because I mean, there's a bunch of names, there's a bunch more offensive linemen, but are any of them markedly better than any of the others? I mean, I don't know. I think the starting right guard would probably be the next guy, but I just don't know who that's going to be.
Well, it's time to figure that out.
I guess it is.
And this puts you in a tricky predicament, because you have not been the Tyler Steen guy. You've been the Matt Pryor guy.
Right.
Now, the thing with Pryor is I guess he has tackle guard versatility. You don't have to decide when you draft him where he's going to play.
Right. But I think he's got to be the next guy for me.
Who's that?
Matt Pryor.
Matt Pryor. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt Pryor becomes my 6th pick.
Now, where do you think he's playing? Do you have an idea yet?
O-line.
He's not going to be your fullback.
It depends. It depends what if I can find another tackle here, because I got some positional versatility with Matt.
You do.
So, yeah.
So
we'll see who's available.
So you're still of the belief, I guess, that Matt Pryor is going to win that right guard job.
I am.
Okay.
I actually am.
Yeah. I'm of the belief that it's going to be Tyler Steen, and he is my next pick. I'm going to plug him in to that right guard spot. I'm not going to wait to see it. Tyler Steen goes in there as my right guard. I I don't know. I mean, he was obviously in this position last year, but I don't think Matt Pryor is as good an option as Mekhi Becton was a year ago. And I think Steen, with an extra year under his belt, is more prepared for this. Now, I could be wrong about that, but ultimately, I do think it's going to be him on week one lining up there.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I need a quarterback, 2 receivers, and 2 offensive linemen. You need a running back, 1 receiver, a tight end, and 2 offensive linemen.
Depending on how the configuration of those skill players, maybe.
So that's true.
I will have 5 offensive linemen. I will divulge that.
Yeah, I have a tough call here. I need a tackle in the center or a guard in the center. I need a wide receiver. I'm hurting here. You know what I might do? I might take Avery Williams.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Avery Williams. A little versatility, a little speed. I mean, I think he's got a better chance to help this team than, some of these other guys. Danny Gray really is Terrace Marshall really gonna be a factor? But I think Avery Williams can do some things. So
okay. Avery Williams. Hey, you can take Avery Williams.
I'm taking Avery Williams.
All right, there you go. You get Avery Williams. My turn.
Yeah.
I'm going back to the offensive line. Give me Kendall Lamb. I'm going to plug him in at right tackle.
Really?
Mm-hmm. 10-year pro, solid. He'll be fine there.
He's not solid.
He is solid. You don't play 10 years in the league without being solid. Healthy, was out there, second team left tackle in spring workouts, but has the versatility to play either side of the line.
Well, I've got some work to do on my O-line. Gosh, I can't take Miles Hinton to play left tackle.
We're seeing some panic from Roob right now. Does he go back to Lake and Vakalehi where he joked he would start?
I'm going to go Darian Kennard.
Now, do you know where you're playing Kennard? He does have some inside-outside versatility.
No, we'll see. We'll get to that.
He might be a running back for Roob. Well, I'll give you a little break with the offensive line. All right. I'll throw you a bone here. I'm going Grant Calcaterra as my tight end. I want to eliminate the possibility of you trying to pull a fast one and go in 12 personnel on me when you look at your roster and say, I got Avery Williams playing receiver. Maybe I want to be in 12. We'll avoid that.
I didn't say he's a receiver. I say he's a weapon.
Okay.
He's going to be a weapon.
He's a weapon, all right. Grant Calcaterra ends up being my tight end 1, which, hey, is he Dallas Goedert? He is not, but he was productive in Goddard's absence last year. As you pointed out, the Eagles were very good without Dallas Goedert because, well, maybe a little part of it, they had Grant Calcaterra.
Yeah, and I mean, when it looked like he might be tight end 1, that was a little. I think he put up good receiving numbers. I just don't know if you run the ball as well with him as you do with Goddard. I was impressed with his ability to get yards after the catch, big plays. He had like 7 catches of 20 yards, which is, when he gets the ball, I mean, he's fast, he's athletic, made some big plays. So I don't think he's a tight end 1, but I think he's a pretty good tight end 2.
Totally agree. Anything else you want to say to stall before your next pick?
I'm not stalling.
Okay.
I know exactly where I'm going here. I'm going Drew Kendall.
Your center, or are you going to play McGard maybe?
I don't know yet. I got a lot of options here. I like
you're going to get these boys to camp and see what sticks.
I like my versatility.
Okay.
Oh, I know. Well, I know he'll be playing center.
Drew Kendall?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You had Landon Dickerson, so.
Yeah, I could flip flop those.
It's up to you. We'll I'll pin you
I
down.
might end up with Lane at left guard. You got 3 more guys. I got 2 more.
Yeah, so I'm going to finish out this round. I'm going to go. Yeah, this is. Huh.
I know you're going to AJ Dillon, so just.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Actually, I think. I'm deciding here between another skill guy or my left guard. And it's not an easy decision.
It's not, because there's slim pickings.
Okay, I'm going to go with my left guard, Trevor Keegan.
I honestly thought you were going to go Danny Gray there.
I like a Danny Gray. And I thought about going receiver, but ultimately Trevor Keegan, and it's his spot, left guard, where, he has a little bit of versatility. We saw him snapping the football a little bit in that last spring practice. So if ever Cam Jurgens gets hurt on my team, I have a backup center already built in.
I got like 3 backup centers.
You do. You have all centers.
I think my crappy O-line guys are better than your crappy O-line guys.
I don't have crappy O-line guys.
No, you don't. All right, I'm gonna go with my third receiver here. It's either going to be Terrace Marshall or Anais Smith. I thought Anais Smith caught the ball pretty well.
Not that I'm helping you, but Johnny Wilson probably deserves to be in the conversation when you're looking at that next receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be one of those 3. Can I have that coin again?
Yeah, you can have that coin.
Can I borrow that Jordan Hall's quarter?
Here, I just want to point out, when you're deciding who had a better team, that some of Roob's team will now be decided by this quarter. Here you go, Roob.
No, I don't need a quarter.
Okay.
Who's most likely to make the team out of those 3? I mean, Johnny Wilson's got the blocking, but I don't think he's a great receiver. Yeah, I'll go Johnny Wilson.
Johnny Wilson. Okay. I think he's the most likely of that group to be on the roster. He has a rapport already with Jalen Hurts. I don't think that's crazy to put him there. So you have one more pick left.
Yes.
And I know you don't have a quarterback yet.
I do not have a quarterback.
At running back, I have Tanner. I mean, no, I won't. I won't do that to you.
You can do it if you want.
No, I won't. But it basically means
a lot of confidence in Dorian Thompson-Robinson to be my QB.
I get to choose my last 2 players here, and I'm going to go with Will Shipley. I think he's a lock to make the roster. AJ Dillon is not a lock to make the roster. He missed all of last year. I think Will Shipley is going to be the running back 2 this year. Now, it doesn't mean if everyone's healthy, or if those 2 are healthy and Saquon misses time, that AJ Dillon wouldn't be the bell cow. I think he's more built for that. But I'm bullish on Shipley, and I think if you're not, it's probably just because we didn't get to see him as a rookie, and I think that was more circumstance than the player.
Yeah. No, it's a good pick, and I would probably pick him ahead of AJ Dillon. You know, when a veteran has that kind of injury, it was a neck, and he was out there practicing. He there's no issues now, but I mean, his production has dropped every year since his second year in the league, and that usually doesn't reverse itself at that age as an older guy coming off an injury. And I really like Shipley's receiving ability. He's just got natural hands. Does he remind you of anybody with the way he catches the
Shipley?
Ball? Huh. Coming in as a young guy. He's got a lot of confidence as a receiver.
No, but I haven't also thought about that very much. I'm sure I did as a rookie, but I haven't thought about it since.
Like Boston Scott came in and as a rookie just caught the ball really well. I mean, he never really caught a bunch of passes in the league, but I just think Shipley's got soft hands, and he's comfortable running routes. He seems to have a good sense of getting open. I like the player.
Okay, it's your last pick.
I'm taking Tanner McKee.
Sure.
He's going to be my quarterback.
He's not going to be a center for you?
I think I think he's going to be pretty good. I think he's going to be a starter in this league at some point.
Or at least compete sometime
Yeah.
for a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough for a late round pick to get an opportunity, but man, everything we've ever seen from him has been impressive.
He had a bad pass into traffic at practice on Tuesday.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he'll. I mean, I'm confident in him if something happens with Jalen.
Yeah. So my last pick.
This is interesting.
It's interesting. It's my fifth skill guy. So I could go receiver. I could go tight end. I could go running back. I could even go fullback.
Oh no.
I'm not doing it though. Look, the way my team is built, I don't think the fullback is the right route. I'm tempted to do it because
if you have Saquon,
I love the
I'll
fullback.
put down Giles Jackson for you.
You can go ahead and erase him for me, please, and you can replace him with Terrace Marshall.
Danny Gray's going to be bummed.
Hey, I like a Danny Gray. Terrace Marshall is getting more first team reps in the spring. He got the shout out from Jalen Hurts. I like that. I don't think he's a lock to make the team, but I think he's the next most likely, him or Anais Smith. I kind of went back and forth on those two, but I like A.J. Brown and Terrace Marshall outside Jahan Dotson in the slot for me. You want to run down these offenses real quick?
Yeah.
Why don't you run down your team, and then I'll run down my team.
So I got Tanner McKee at quarterback. Saquon Barkley,
Who's that?
2,000-yard rusher, is my running back. And he's going to have when I look at my receivers, Saquon's going to have 50 carries a game. Devontae, and then I got Avery Williams as just a jack of all trades.
You got to list them on the roster. You receiver?
If you like.
I think that's the surprise pick of this draft.
I like that pick, though. I mean, I think he's more likely to help this team than Terrace Marshall.
Okay.
My tight end's Dallas Goedert. I've got a star-studded, jam-packed offensive line with Darian Kennard.
You got to give me positions here on these guys now.
For now, and we got to see how they look on the field in pads. I like to do this before they're in pads, but right now I got them at left tackle. I got Landon at left guard, Drew Kendall at center, Matt Pryor at right guard, and Lane Johnson at right tackle.
Okay. At least you don't have to play Matt Pryor at tackle. We saw how that goes.
Yeah, I got him at guard.
Yeah, I'm saying that's good. Okay, so my team, quarterback, Jalen Hurts, running back, Will Shipley, tight end, Grant Calcaterra, wide receiver 1, A.J. Brown, wide receiver 2, Jahan Dotson, wide receiver 3, Terrace Marshall, left tackle, Jordan Mailata, left guard, Trevor Keegan, center, Cam Jurgens, right guard, Tyler Steen, right tackle, Kendall Lamb.
It's funny because I'm the Pryor guy and you're the Steen guy. We both got our guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and so I did like that.
Determine who wins this. It's who wins the right guard job.
I like that I put you in that spot to have to stand by your guy.
Yeah, you did. That was good strategy.
That was good. All right, let's take a break and we'll see how things go with the defense on the other side.
You deserve a car that thrills you, a car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, we've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself and shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today.
We are back on the Eagle Eye Podcast presented by Nissan. Roob and Frank, Dave Zangaro. Roob, how we feeling?
I like my team. I feel good about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they've got good chemistry. They're connecting.
You got to connect.
They're all going bowling together. Yeah.
Who's the best bowler on your team so far?
Oh, best bowler on my team is Avery Williams.
That's good because I don't know where he's playing on the football field. All right. Let's defense time. Do I get the first pick for defense? I think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
Okay. For my first pick, I'm going Jalen Carter. I think he is their best player on defense, and I also think he's clearly their best defensive tackle. So I'm just expecting big things from Jalen Carter. I think the ceiling for him is Defensive Player of the Year, and it's not going to be easy, but he's gotten better from year 1 to year 2, and I expect another jump in year 3.
Like everything you just said about Jalen Carter, I could say about Zach Bond as far as getting better in year 2, not year 2 in the league, but year 2 at this position. What he did last year, all pro, just such a playmaker. I mean, a game didn't go by where he didn't make a big play, an impact play, forced fumble recovery, a sack, interception. He got me my bold prediction, Super Bowl Sunday, 2 interceptions. So I'm going Zach Bond as my first defensive guy.
Yeah, and that's really what the decision came down to for me, was Jalen Carter versus Zach Bond. I don't think there's a way to go wrong there, honestly. I think they're both excellent players.
And they're both players that there's a drop-off from 1 to 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I don't know.
And that's a big part of doing this.
Yeah, and I don't know. How are we dealing with injuries? Because the Nakobe Dean question is going to come up. Are we assuming health or not?
I would say no.
No, not with him, right?
Yeah.
I think,
I would take Jahad Campbell, but I wouldn't take Nakobe.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Okay. Yeah, it's not a perfect way to do that. All right, my turn, right?
Yes, it's your turn.
Okay.
Unless you want to pass.
No, I do not want to pass. It's coming down between 2 players for me here. And you probably know which 2 they are.
And I already wrote one of them down.
Did you?
Yep.
I wonder if it's going to be the one I'm going to take. I'm going Nolan Smith.
Oh.
You thought I was going, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going Nolan Smith. Their top edge rusher. And now I have Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. That's a really good start. I'm building like old school Eagles here. I'm going through the trenches.
You're just taking Georgia guys.
That's what they do.
That changes my plan here, but what's you have a number of mine for Nolan? Like, I mean,
12.
12 sacks.
He had 10.5, including the playoffs, but he got off to a slow start. But like, he played at that level for a long part of that season.
Yeah. I think what would the over under be? Would that be?
I think that'd be over. I think you're probably talking.
It wouldn't be much under that.
During the regular season, though, we had what 6.5. So I think probably like 8.5, 9.5.
Yeah, I would take the over in a second. I have 2 ways I can go here too, and one of them is the second way that you didn't go,
which I think you're going to do.
I don't think I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I kind of have to. I'll go Reed Blankenship.
Oh, okay. That wasn't what I was thinking. Was that what you thought I was thinking?
Yeah.
Oh no,
okay.
He wasn't in my. Okay, yeah, he wasn't the guy I was going to go with there.
Okay.
But it's a good pick, and he's clearly a starter at safety, and we don't know who the other starter is. So
that's the thinking there. Yeah. Like, I think they have other guys with potential, but I just don't want to get stuck with, Tristan McCollum and Lewis Seen.
Yeah, that's fair. Although, not that it's a wrong pick, I don't want to overvalue his talent, right? Like, we're trying to build the best team, and I think there are more talented players to pick.
I would agree, but I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, no,
playmaker,
it's not a knock on him.
Durable, smart, leader.
All those things. Absolutely. My turn?
Yeah.
Give me Quinyon Mitchell.
Ooh, that's not what I thought you were going to do.
Yeah. He was so good as a rookie. We don't think about him as much because no one threw a ball his way because he was that good. So, I expect him to have a really good second season.
Yeah, you're saying how he is so sticky and able to cover at such a high level without getting penalties. It's really remarkable. I mean, he had one of the best seasons. I mean, he didn't have any picks till he had 2 in the postseason, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I mean, he could have like 6 this year. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I mean, if CJ wasn't on the team last year, he would have had a couple in the regular season.
Yeah, he would have. I'll be surprised if he doesn't make the Pro Bowl this year. I think he's that good.
He's excellent. Do you think he travels this year?
I don't know. I think that you can sure make a case for it without Slay being here.
And maybe he wouldn't travel into the slot. We've seen the Eagles do that before.
Yeah.
Slay's stuck with, or Slay did that for a little while. I think that's like, if you're a top corner in the league, you do that when it makes sense.
When it makes sense. Now, I think if the other team has two kind of even, maybe you just stay on one side. I'm going to go Cooper.
Okay, that's the right pick.
I just don't want to get stuck without either of them. This is not going the way I expected, but I'll take it.
I love your panic in the middle of these rounds.
No, I like it. I mean, I got Zach Bond, Cooper DeJean, and Reed Blankenship for crying out loud.
Okay.
I like where I am.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good too. Do you know where you're playing Cooper yet?
No.
Okay, I'm just asking.
No, I'll get to that.
Okay. You said you were like offended by the question. I was just asking.
No, I have 3 players, and so I don't know. I'll see who else I get.
Okay, it's my turn.
It is your turn.
Give me Jihad Campbell.
Really?
Yeah, and I know he's a rookie. I know he's a little banged up right now, but I need a linebacker.
Chronic shoulder injury. I don't know. You
have Zach Bond. I can't get shut out at the linebacker position, not in Vic Fangio's defense. I need a linebacker. You have Zach Bond. I have Zach Bond 2.0 and Jihad Campbell.
A little early for that. Zach Bond 2. I'd be a little careful with that. But no, I do think he's going to be good. Really curious when we'll see him. When he'll be full go.
August.
Yeah. You think we'll see him opening day?
Yeah.
I mean, it's August 31st. Probably not. If it's August 1st, probably will. Because in between, who knows?
I think we will.
Really? That'd be great for him. I mean, that would be great for them. I'm intrigued by him. And, I was on Huddle the night that Barrett did his breakdown of Jihad. And, just watching him break down the film, I was like, they got to get this guy. and which I remind Barrett of all the time. But, yeah, he's an intriguing one. That's a good pick. I thought you were going to take Jalix there, so I'm going to take Jalix.
Okay, that's good.
I got to get an edge.
You don't have one. You don't have a lineman yet.
I do now.
Yep.
I thought if you had Nolan and Jalix, I was going to be in deep trouble. So, yeah, he's one of the guys I just can't wait to see. And I love his mentality. I love his attitude. I love that, he's such an intriguing story. He never looked at himself as a project. We all looked at him as like this guy changing positions, going from the Ivy League to Houston Baptist
Christian,
change it, player to be named later. We got a college to be named later, but he never looked at himself like that. He's like, I'm playing. And the progress he made last year was phenomenal. So he's my first edge.
Yeah, it's a good pick. I'm going to follow it up with another edge.
Ooh.
I'm going to go Azeez Ojulari. And maybe I'm really just drafting all these Georgia guys.
You really are.
Yeah. My line might be all Georgia, but that's okay. That's not a bad thing. And I think there's a drop-off after Ojulari. As much as they talked up Josh Uche so far, I think there's a pretty clear drop after the top 3, so I didn't want to get shut out there. So I'm going to go Ojulari, who, there's only one knock on Azeez Ojulari, and it's a significant one, is that he's missed time, but
a lot of time.
When he's been on the field, he's been very good.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, we're getting interesting here.
Yeah, and it's defense to me is a lot of fun because there's a lot of different combinations. Offense for the most part, it's like you need 5 offensive linemen, you need a quarterback, you need a running back, you need a tight end, you need 2 receivers, and then that 5th spot is whatever. But you have a lot of versatile players on defense. You can play in different positions.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is my 5th pick, and it's the 10th pick overall on defense. I have a couple guys in mind. What I think I'm going to do is go. It's one of two guys. And
Want that quarter?
what's that?
Want that quarter?
No, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to. It's going to be an interior lineman. I don't know if I want Jordan Davis or Morrow. I'm going to take Morrow.
Okay.
I want to take him, and it's not a knock on. I just don't know how much better Jordan Davis is really going to get. They're going to hype him up. I think he's a fine player, but yeah, I think Morrow can do more things, and I think he's going to get more snaps, and I think he might be more productive than Jordan Davis this year.
I don't hate that. I'm also coming down between two players right now for my next pick.
You know what? Let's run down who we have so far, because we each made 5 picks on defense.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll go through my 5. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Quinyon Mitchell, Jihad Campbell, Azeez Ojulari. So Jalen Carter was my first pick.
As he should have been. Okay, so you are up.
No, you didn't run down your players.
Oh, my players. I got Jalix at edge, Morrow at interior line, Zach Bond at inside linebacker. I got Coop either outside at safety, at corner, possibly at one of those positions. And I got Reed Blankenship, so I got a couple big pieces on my secondary, which you've been kind of neglecting.
And that ends right now. Give me Keely Ringo as my other starting cornerback. I'm feeling good about my corners right now, Quinyon and Keely.
Yeah, it's good. So I need a lot.
Well, now Avery Williams, now he can play some defense for you. So
take him again.
That pick is would you have to take him again, or could you just play him here?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe I should have taken BVS.
It gives me a lot of flexibility. So I need another interior lineman. I need an edge. I need an inside backer, and I need 3 defensive backs. Now, who's the next best defensive back on the team? Is it Andrew Makuba? Is it Sidney Brown? Dory Jackson? I think they want Makuba to start. I'm kind of a big Sidney fan. I need a corner. I need a. Dave's just laughing at my.
I'm enjoying this. This is.
Well, we're at the point where there's like really difficult calls here to make. I need an edge, but you have 2 edges, so I don't have to worry about you taking Josh Uche. I don't think.
You don't know what I'm going to do.
I'm going to take a D-back. I'm either going to take Makuba or Sidney or Dory Jackson or Maxon Hook. You know what I'm going to do?
No, I don't actually. I have no idea what you're going to do. I don't think you do either.
I'm going to take Andrew Makuba.
Okay.
Because I like Sidney, but I think Makuba. I think they want Makuba to start.
I think that's a good pick. I think that's a better pick than Sidney. I'll give you credit on that one. That would have been my next pick, Makuba.
Yeah.
So I was not happy that you landed there because I didn't think you were going to.
So you're saying it's the right pick. I didn't think you were going to make it.
Yeah.
Basically what you're saying.
Any compliment I give is going to be a little backhanded.
All right. You don't have any safeties, Dave.
Yeah, but you do. So I can kind of wait on that a little bit.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead And this is where it gets tricky with Nakobe. I'm not going to take him, and that's hard because obviously I would take him if he's healthy. But we established that we're not assuming health for Nakobe Dean. So if we're not assuming health, I do need another linebacker, and I'm going to go with Trot. I'm going to take Jeremiah Trotter Jr. here. And, I think if people see this on paper, they're going to go, well, no Nakobe, but that is the reason. With too much uncertainty there, I can't take him. And Trotter is getting all these valuable reps. I don't want to get shut out of the linebackers like you are now. So I'm going to go with Jahad Campbell and Jeremiah Trotter as my linebackers.
Okay. But, I mean, we're both getting shut out of something. You know what I'm going to do here? I still need another.
Still don't know what you're going to do.
No, I'm going to take Jordan Davis.
Oh. Okay.
Because you need an interior lineman.
Yeah, that was just defense. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Yeah, wow. In my head, I was thinking I was going to be able to just snatch him late, but that's your second defensive tackle.
Right. I mean, I was going back and forth between those two guys, those two interior linemen. I ended up getting both. I didn't think he'd be on the board.
Yeah, no, he shouldn't have been. That was good by you. Okay, I screwed that up.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I'm still winning, but I did screw that up. Okay, I'm going to take Sidney Brown.
The guy you just told me not to take.
No, Sidney. I think I don't think there's much of a gap between him and Makuba right now. I think I agree with you. Makuba's more likely to be the starter because they drafted him and all that. But it is also a difficult position to pick up, and I'm not completely ruling out Sidney in that competition.
That's fair.
So I'm going to go with him there.
I have some cornerback issues.
Yeah, right now you have Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, well, he can
maybe Makuba.
Maybe Makuba.
Yeah,
he can do a lot of things.
Maybe Jordan Davis. Who knows? Let's get weird.
I think I'll take Eli Ricks here.
You think he's going to be outside for you?
Yeah, I don't think he's a slot.
Okay.
So that's pick 16 here.
We don't talk about Eli Ricks.
I like Eli Ricks.
I think there's something there.
I think they like him.
I think he's just buried on the depth chart. I don't think that's really going to change. So, yeah, but
I mean, they kept him on the 53 all year. He played 16 snaps. There's a reason they kept him around. They like him.
I agree.
He's got long arms. He's fast.
So what do you have filled out? Is your secondary is not filled out?
I need a corner, a backer, and an edge.
Yeah.
You need a safety, a corner, and an interior lineman.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to wait on the interior lineman.
Oh, yeah, because there's so many options there.
Well, I'm just saying I don't need to pick it because you're full, unless you want to go a 5-man front. You could do that. It doesn't really matter. I think we're just in different positions now. You know what I mean? I think it doesn't make a ton of sense, but I'll figure it out. Give me a Dory Jackson, and I'll line him up as the nickel. He's not a pure nickel, but I think this team doesn't have a ton of depth at the nickel. It's Cooper DeJean, and then right now the guy running second team in the spring was Perry Nickerson. I think during the season that'll probably be Mac McWilliams, but he's a rookie who primarily played outside at UCF. He has some nickel in his background, did a little bit at Senior Bowl, but not a slam dunk that he'll be able to play there in the league.
Yeah.
At this point, you're really just picking your players because we're not super opposed.
Right. But still got to go in order here, I guess. So I need there's no backers. What am I going to do? If I play Coop outside with Ricks,
You need a nickel.
yeah, I could take Mac. Could play Makuba.
You can play Makuba at nickel and take another safety.
Yeah. Do I want Andre Sam or like Mac McWilliams? Take was Mac 5?
He was a 4, right?
Was he 4?
No, he was a 5. I'm sorry. Ty
Yes.
Robinson was a 4. My bad.
Yeah.
He was one of their 3 fifth-round picks.
I'm working here. I still have time on my.
You're really running down the clock. You're like the Vikings. You might not get the pick in.
You know, I just want the best players, and then I'll find spots for them. I'm going to take Mac McWilliams.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's
just over Andre Sam.
I think that's a fine pick, and you can certainly
I have some
play him at different spots. Yeah, I think that is something with the secondary. Like you can kind of mix and match it however you want.
I'm running these guys down as DBs.
Okay, that's fine. I will try to pin you down on where you're going to line them up when we go through the list at the end, but it's my turn now. I'm going to fill out my defensive line. I'm going to go Ty Robinson.
It's a good pick.
Yeah, and look, you ended up with who'd you end up with? Ojima and Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
I think Ty Robinson is going to be a big part of the maybe not a big part, but he's going to be a part of the rotation as a rookie. Older rookie, 25 years old, super productive as his last year at Nebraska. We saw some signs from him already this spring, a big body. I think that's a good pick there, and I like it. And have I stalled enough to give you ample time to be ready for your pick, Roob?
What do you think? What do you think as far as snap counts for Ty Robinson, like weekly average?
That's you telling me I have not stalled enough. I don't know. I think he'll play more as the 4th guy than the 4th guy last year, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I think he'll be more part of the. I don't think Jalen Carter is going to leave the field very much. I think they've established that. But after that, you have Ujima and Jordan Davis. So you're missing Milt, who you knew was going to play. Like that dude didn't miss time with injury, as tough as they come.
Right.
Whereas this year, like Jordan Davis didn't play a ton last year. Morrow didn't play a ton. I think they actually played the exact same amount of snaps, 388 last year in the regular season. So
you wouldn't know that.
I think there's going to be more opportunity for the 4th guy this year.
All right. We need one more guy. I need 2 more.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Smile as my second inside backer.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look, I like Trot and everything, but
I already took Trot.
No, I'm just saying. I think
okay.
that's a push, is what I'm saying. I don't think Trot's necessarily. Trot was pick 13. Smile's pick 20. Smile got a couple reps, right, with the ones.
Yeah, but that was because Zach Bond wasn't out there.
Yeah, well, he got them.
He didn't get them.
I'm gonna go Smile as my. I got Zach Bond and Smile as my backers.
Good. So it's my last pick. This is easy for me. I'm going Tristan McCollum. And that's ahead of Andre Sam. That is ahead of Lewis Seen. That is ahead of Maxon Hook. I think he's the next guy. I have 2 of the 3 safeties competing for that job.
And I have the one safety who has a job. So I got the last player. I need an edge. It's obvious, Josh Uche.
Yeah, maybe. Is that where you're going with?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
go APR, but yeah, I'm not. So there's my team.
I like that. Let's go through our entire team real quick. You want to go first or want me to go
You want to do
first?
it by position or just
Like back and forth?
Yeah.
Like position groups?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I was just saying like edge and then interior and then inside back.
Yeah, sure. But let's go back through the whole team though at the end because we're at the end of the pod.
Okay.
So quarterback, I have Jalen Hurts.
I have Tanner McKee.
Okay. Running back, I have Will Shipley.
I have Saquon Barkley.
Slight advantage for you there. Tight end, I have Grant Calcaterra.
I have Dallas Goedert.
Wide receivers, A.J. Brown, Jahan Dotson, Terrace Marshall.
I have Devontae, Avery Williams, is every little bit of everything, and Johnny Wilson.
My offensive line, from left to right, Jordan Mailata, Trevor Keegan, Cam Jurgens, Tyler Steen, Kendall Lamb.
I got Darian Kennard, Landon Dickerson, Drew Kendall at center, Matt Pryor at right guard, and Lane Johnson, 2-time All-Pro at right tackle.
Okay. Defense, my defensive line, 4-man front, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, Ty Robinson, Azeez Ojulari.
And I have Jalix and Josh Uche at edge, and Morrow and Jordan as my interior linemen.
Linebackers, Jahad Campbell, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Note, both of us did not take Nakobe Dean because of injury concern.
Yeah. I have All-Pro Zach Bond and the promising rookie Smile Mondon Jr.
Okay. Secondary, my cornerback positions, Quinyon Mitchell, Keely Ringo, my nickel, Adoree Jackson, my safeties, Sidney Brown, Tristan McCollum.
Really? Those are your safeties? I know I have Eli Ricks as one of my outside corners, and I have Reed as a safety, and then I have Coop, Mac McWilliams, and Andrew Makuba as my other 3 DBs. And I just need to find the best places for them. You know, what's going to make this the best team? So I think what I'm going to do is play Coop at outside corner, Makuba at safety, and Mac McWilliams in the slot.
It's very funny that the Eagles really have one nickel corner.
I have
And
3.
he's not playing nickel for you.
That's true.
All right.
But I mean, there are some versatile guys in that secondary, and I just want them to. I want to put them in a position to succeed.
Good luck with that.
I like my team. I do like my team.
Glad you do. All right. Any final words before we wrap this one up?
Who's your offensive coordinator? If you had anyone that Nick has had,
I get the pick.
Yeah,
I'd take Shane Steichen.
This is not part of this, but I would too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which defensive coordinator? I'm joking. We obviously take Vic.
I take Gannon.
All right. If you enjoy the Eagle Eye podcast, please rate and subscribe wherever you get your pods. If you're watching on YouTube, please click the like button and subscribe there as well. Any final words, Roob, real quick?
No, it's just fun.
Always fun. I got to return this quarter to Jordan Hall. Thank you for the quarter. Jordan, Roob, and Frank, I'm Dave Zangaro. This has been Eagle Eye presented by Nissan. We'll talk to you soon.